Callie with Jemminz. Welcome back to my channel. And today we are in my kitchen. Yes, I have a mess behind me. That's okay. I just pulled a whole bunch of stuff over there that we've been working on. I've got brand new baby kitties in the house. We have kitten food back there and formula for them because they're growing really big. And then we have a couple bottles for my kids. We bought them some water bottles for when we take off and go do things. They've got their water bottle with them. And then just my teas that I just got in from Steepology. I love my teas. I got a couple really cool brand new scents or flavors from them. So yeah, it's a lot behind my counter. And then just my regular food jars, which I keep on there anyway. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. We are going to do something fun today. We are going to rebatch soap, but we're not just going to rebatch it. We're going to upcycle it. Well, what does that mean? With a regular rebatch soap, you're going to add your shavings of your soap into a crock pot with some water, and you're going to mix that down, and you're going to put it in a brand new mold. When we upcycle our soap, we're going to make it into a brand new soap. And so what does that mean? What that means is today what I'm going to do in upcycling this batch of soap is we're going to take my old cannabis flower and cannabis soap. This is a special mixture. It's my hemp-in soaps. I have a whole bunch of extras that just aren't selling right now. So I thought, hey, let's do a brand new soap out of it and show you guys how I rebatch my soaps. So we're grinding all these shavings down. We're going to put them in the crock pot. We're going to mix them up. And then we're going to add seaweed powder for color. And we're going to add pumice stone because we're going to make it into a scrubbing stone, a scrubbing soap. And then we're going to add a little bit of kaolin clay just to kind of finish it all off. Coloring today will be the seaweed powder for the color. And the scent we're going to add is a sandalwood. It's a fragrance oil that is mixed in with fragrance oil and essential oil. And we're going to turn this into a brand new soap. And I'm so excited to do this today. The cannabis soap mica that I used in this already has a really pretty kind of like I don't want to say a dull green, but a muted green. So adding the seaweed into this will be perfect for that because it'll mellow it out a little bit. And this also has a lot of black. So I'm suspecting in time that the black will probably come through too. And this is a black mica with a little bit of activated charcoal in it. So it has that activated charcoal feel to it also. So here we go. So I've already ground up some of my soap. Put it in here. The crock pot's going. And in my soap, I've already added a 1/4 cup of water to, I believe this is it's a full 1 gallon pot of soap. So we're going to add these shavings. I'll stop shaving here. And we're going to mix it all up. Now I'm adding just every half an hour or so, I'm adding a new bar of soap to this to help make it melt itself down a little better. I could add all of it all at once, but I found that by tapering it, it actually melts a lot better for me. So whatever your technique is, just go ahead and continue to do it. It doesn't really matter. Oh, this actually smells really good in here. All right. And in the heating process, what's going to happen is the cannabis scent is going to flower off or disaperate off, I guess is a better word to say. This is really turning out to be a good soap. And I wish I could show you, but I can't right now, but I will later. Because it's really taking a good hold. The scent will disaperate in this, and then we'll add the sandalwood, and it'll actually scent a lot better. Later on down the road, I will turn this up to high and watch it for about half an hour, and then because I want this pot to get super, super hot. And right now, it's just mediocre. I can touch it, and it's not very hot. So we're good there. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We are going to add the seaweed powder, the pumice stone, and the kaolin clay, and the scent at the last, right before I put it into the molds. And today we're just going to do some really cool square molds. Or actually, these are rectangle that I have. I have a whole bunch of them. You could do any type of mold. You can actually put this in a full mold and then cut it. I personally don't like to do that because for me, I'm getting older. I'm almost 60 years old, and it's really hard for me to cut those hard bars because of my body anymore. So I prefer to just mold them in the single bars and then be done with it. For me, it works out better for me. But anybody, you can do it for, you know, just about anything. All right, so what are we going to do next? So what I need to do is I'm going to prep some of these bars, and I already have them packaged up. So we're going to rip the old package out. My little puppy, he's no longer a little puppy, he's getting so big. I have this little doxy puppy that we got a while back, and he is just growing. He's almost full size, and he's only not even a couple months old. He's going to be a big boy. Yeah, what's up, Gizmo? He's down below me here. Is it okay if the pets are in the house? Well, I have pets in my house. I can't really do much about that. And yeah, it's totally okay. They're not up here running around on my counters. They're down on the floor. I never allow none of my cats are allowed on the counters ever. Everybody's saying, oh, well, you know, they get up there anyway. I'm like, yeah, no, they really don't. I had one of my cats get up on the counter a while back, squirted them with a little bit of water, never did it again. So a little cat tip there, if you have cats and I think these are really nice. I think maybe, no, I'm going to recycle them. If you have cats and you don't want them jumping on your counters, and if you can catch them early enough, squirt them with some water, they don't like it. Now, if you have a cat that loves water, and I've seen some that do, that like to swim and be in there, then it doesn't work. It might work if you squirt them with it, but then you make them scared of the stuff. All right, so we've got some bars set up here. I'll turn this down a little bit. We got some bars set up here. I'm going to cut a couple more. I'm just going to do this whole batch. So get these prepped and ready to go. So when I go to add my next soap, we'll have them. Look at these pretty soaps. The swirls on these soaps turned out so nice. So these are really nice soaps. Why am I upcycling? Well, I have too many of them, actually. I made them for a bazaar one time. And I've got a Pride Festival coming up and a couple other places where they would sell probably really, really well. But I felt like the best thing for me to do is just to go ahead and upcycle. I think I'll save up those last four. Recycle some of them since they're just hanging out doing nothing, and basically reuse them. So that's what I'm doing here. And I have these are older. This is from my first batch. Go ahead and do this. Get all these off. So I'm just going to keep cutting these out, keep adding some soap, and then in the end, later on tonight, I will come back online and I will show you exactly how we mold that soap. Hi everybody, welcome back. Now it's been a couple hours and we have our soap almost ready to go. I added in the last batch of soap that I was going to do for the day in here, and this is the glop that you're going to get. Now this turned all black, which I wasn't too surprised that it did this because of the black that I already had in it, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and just finish this off. So I'm going to turn this off. I have a wood table here, so I'm just going to throw those saps back in there, and then we're going to pull this out of the way. I'm going to wash that up here in a minute. And if I can touch this, I can. Sometimes this gets too hot to touch, so put this off, turn this off, and move it out of the way, and we're going to let that cool down. Now this is really ready to go. Let's see if I can turn it down so you guys can see what it looks like in here. I'll see. Let me get a hot pad. This is just a little bit too hot. So this is what you end up with. Now I can't tell you how many bars in there, and there's some bars that haven't completely melted down, but I'm okay with that because of what we're going to do here. So I could probably leave this on for another little bit of time and excuse me, and let it go a little bit more. But I have a very sick kitten, so I'm going to not rush this, but because the base soap is already done, I'm just going to scrape this all down in here. I don't know if you can really see that. I'll back this up so you can see it. Get all this in, and then we're going to add our other ingredients that we want to add in. The soap as it is good. It's just the last little bit didn't completely melt, and we're not going to worry about it. So I'm going to add that in. It may or may not lighten it up. I don't know. I'm not really looking to have that happen. And we're going to add in the pumice stone. Now this is powdered in here. Hopefully this will work. Yeah, it didn't add it up very much, but it's working. So we're going to have a good bar. Nose is itching. Just a little bit more of the pumice stone in because I really want a good scrub here. So we're gonna add 2 more. I'd basically add 3. I'd add 3 heaping teaspoons of it for a tablespoon. I would do 2 tablespoons and it would be fine for the 6 bars that I'm going to do here. I'm adding more in here. Adding this in will actually help dry these bars out faster too because it's going to soak up the water. Okay. This actually doesn't smell bad. Okay. My hand is giving up on me. It's kind of turned out to be a gray bar. It's not a problem. You could probably add more coloring to it. I could turn this all black or add more of the seaweed powder to it, but I don't want to do that. I just want to do it this way. All right, so I think we have that all mixed in. Now we're going to add in the fragrance oil. And this is going to smell so good. It's going to glop a little bit, so I'm not going to... Wow, that smells so good. Sandalwood smells so good in here. My shoulder's giving out completely. Now, I'm a person that doesn't like waste. I try to use every little bit that I can. Oh man, my shoulder. I injured my shoulder about 20 years ago, and it's still not up to where it should be. Alright, so this is pretty well mixed in. So let's go ahead and start adding this to our bars. Now I'm only going to make these 6 or whatever I can get out of the year. I'm not really too concerned about getting a whole lot of bars out of this, to be honest. And all I'm going to do... Oh, let me see if I can turn the camera down. That helps there. All I'm going to do is make sure that this is pressed in really, really good and tight. And I'm pressing it into the corners. Well, I was going to try and move that out, but it's not going to work. It's really hot. All right, so let's grab another one. This one in. Just a little bit more to it, not a lot. Now, why am I forming these bars individually? It actually just works better for me. You can put the whole thing in there and then just jam it all in there. I just find that by doing this, I have the opportunity to really form these bars. It's just the way I do it. Okay. was a little bit too hot. All right. Sandalwood came through really nicely on this. Good. Now we'll get the next one done. And I noticed that as I'm pulling this out, it's drying really fast. So these are going to make really good, quick bars. Now I will let these sit in these molds for 24 hours and really harden up. And then I might have 2 batches here. And then after that, I will pull them out, turn them over, and let them flatten themselves out, and then just let them dry out the rest of the way. But they need to stay in their molds for a minimum of 24 hours. Okay, let's get some more. I'm gonna have to grab some more molds. I think I have a little more than I thought I was going to have, and that's okay. This is drying out really quick. Oops, that can stay on the floor. I'll pick that up in a minute. My dogs are in the other room. They're sleeping. My little puppy he's into everything right now. He's so funny. Gizmo is just one of those little curious dachshunds, and he got out of the house the other day. We've taken him out in the backyard because he's potty training, but he decided to get away, and we weren't happy with that. Yeah, I do have more than what I need here, so I'm gonna go out to the garage and make some more. So basically what I did in this specific recipe, and you can write this down if you want to make these bars if you're interested in them, is these bars, I had 3 heaping teaspoons of seaweed powder, pumice powder, and then 1 or 2 teaspoons of the kale and clay. So these look like really ugly bars, but I tell you what, they're gonna be really cool when they're out of the molds. I like these molds. They really help mold everything up. All right, so there you have it. There is our rebatched soap. I will get the rest of that into a new mold. Oops, here. Let's turn this around here to me. There we go. So I'll get the rest of that into the batches, and I will show you tomorrow on what they look like. These bars are really easy to make. Honestly, it only takes about 2 hours for them to cook in the crock pot. I had mine on low, although the low setting on this one is not low. It's a little bit higher, so I have to really watch that next time I make them. But I still have enough probably for another, I'm not going to say 6 bars, but probably another batch of bars that I just made. So these will be wrapped up. These will cool down and wrap up, and then I will have them not only on the website, but I will also have them at the vendor shows. So if you join me at the vendor shows, please come and see me on the 28th of this, or 29th of this month, a Saturday. I will be at the Yelm Farmers Market, and you can come and see me and grab my soaps if you want to. I would love to see you. Come by and say hello, say hey. If you mention that you saw this video on YouTube, you will get an additional discount, so please make sure you mention that when you see me. And there you have it. We are taking old soaps, renewing them, and upcycling them to something brand new, and these will become a really cool scrubbing bar. Thanks everybody for joining me. Keep an eye out for brand new products coming out on the website. I have wax melts now. I didn't film those. I also have shower steamers, which are coming up online. I have brand new soaps for the next month. We just have a whole gamut of brand new stuff here in the studio working out. So thanks everybody for joining me, and I truly appreciate all of you. Bye. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe. Excuse me. Don't forget to hit the notification button, and don't forget to leave a comment and say hello. Hi. Bye-bye. And it shut off.